Hi everybody, the Home Service Pro here. In today's video, I had a customer call in and say that their attic space with all their heating equipment, the freeze alarm was going off in it. They have a little electric heat down here. It's controlled with this thermostat. We're going to check that thermostat out and see if we can figure out what's going on. So this is the thermostat that's giving us problems. So the first thing you're going to want to do is we want to make sure that we have power coming to the thermostat. So we're going to go ahead and remove the 4x4 box screw so we can get to the wires behind it. These ones you don't have to take out all the way because they are slotted. Therefore, we're able to take it apart without completely removing the screws. So we're going to get those loose, and we're just going to turn it up and lift it right off from there. And here's my wires. So we want to make sure that we have power coming in on the red wires. The red wires going to the thermostats are power. So let's go ahead and make sure we should have 240 volts coming to the thermostat. And as you can tell by looking at my meter, the red light is on, so I have power. That bottom number there is telling me I have 241.6 volts coming to this thermostat. So what the customer is telling me is that right now it's cold in here. It's only maybe 50 degrees. And so even though the thermostat's cranked all the way up to 75, we're just not getting heat to that to the baseboard. So we're going to go ahead. We have to go downstairs to the breaker panel and shut the power off to this. And then I'll show you how to change out the thermostat. So I'll be right back after I'm going to go down to the breaker panel and shut the power off. That's a lot of stairs from the 4th floor all the way to the basement and all the way back just to shut our breaker off. We get to do it again once we get this fixed. But let's go ahead and focus over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to check to make sure that we don't have power here anymore after shutting that breaker off down there. So we're going to go on the red side, or red wires on both sides here. And as you can see, I have no red light and 0 volts showing on that meter. So we have no power here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the cover from the front of the thermostat. We just wiggle this off and it pops right off. Then we're going to take, I don't know if you can see that screw down in here or not, but we got to remove this screw. Pretty sure they should have used some longer screws on these. Those weren't quite long enough. All right, so now we have the whole thermostats loose from the main unit there. We're going to go ahead and loosen up these wire nuts. We got blue wires and black wires. Okay, so we just got to remember, blue goes with black. And actually how we can remember that is black is our power coming in, blue is our power going out. So I got this old thermostat completely removed now. I'm going to go ahead and grab the new thermostat. So this is the thermostat that we're replacing it with. It's pretty much exactly the same exact thermostat as what was here. Let's go ahead and unbox this guy. Now I'm just going to rip the box because I got tape on there. There we go. instruction manual, the cover, and then the actual thermostat here. I'm going to set this box aside here. Okay, so we have the same type of wires here. So I don't know if you can see this on the black here or not, but it says L2 and T2. And on this side, it says L1 and T1. So L1 and L2, that's our power coming in. T1 and T2 is power going out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all prepped, and I'll be right back. All right, so we have L1 and L2 on the top of our switch. But before we get wiring this, we have to remember that we have that box that we have to put back on here. So this is our box. This is the face. So we want to make sure that we're putting the wires through this way. Like this. So that way, when we're all done, that's all mounted up just like this. So we're going to go ahead and tighten these screws right in. All right, there we go. We got both of those tight. So now we're going to flip this back around, and we're going to look in here and make sure we have L1 and L2 facing up. So I got L1 here, L2 there. And if you remember when we were unwiring this, our black wires were our power coming in. It does not matter which black or which wire goes to which. They're both 110 volts, so it's going to work. Don't matter which way you hook it up, as long as you're hooking it up to power. L1 and L2. Go ahead and get these tied on. All right, so now I got my power coming into the thermostat. Now we need to tie on T1 and T2, which is going out to the electric heat. Again, it does not matter which wire goes to which wire, as long as we know that this is going out to our heater. And if you're not 100% certain which one's L1 and L2 and what it does, if you get the booklet that came with the thermostat, there is a diagram inside there. I'll show you that now. So this is the manual that came with it. If we open this up, I believe it's page 1 or page 2 here. Page 2. Well, technically, I guess it's page 4. If you look at this, it shows L1 and L2. That's going out to our power. If you read down here, you can see that. Then you have T1 and T2 here. That goes to your electric heater. That's how we know for sure that we have that wired properly. So let's go ahead and get this remounted to the wall. And then we'll go downstairs, turn that power back on. Actually, I tell you what, let's go ahead and turn our power back on now. We'll test it with it out to make sure we got power coming in. We can turn the thermostat up, make sure we have power going out. Then all we have to do is check to make sure we have heat coming out of there, and we'll be all set. So we'll go back down, turn that power back on. Okay, now that we have the power back on, we're going to make sure that we have power coming up to us so we can make sure that we have full power when we have the thermostat in the on position. So right there, you can see the red light's on. It's showing me I have 243.3 volts. So we know we have power coming up. Now we're going to test the thermostat and make sure that we actually have power going through the thermostat to the heater. So we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to go to the outgoing power. Okay, right now I have no power showing there. I'm going to turn the thermostat up. Okay, I just turned it all the way up. We're going to check that again. Okay, so now I'm showing I got 242 volts going out to the heater. Now we're going to test to make sure that the heater is working by doing a simple amp draw. I'm going to switch my meter over to amps. Now I'm just going to clip it on one wire. And you can see I've got 3.98 amps pulling. That's telling me that that heater is working. If I shut this thermostat off, you can see my amps went to 0. I turn it back on and it's got an amp draw. That's telling me that my heater is working. I'm going to stick my hand down here by the heater just to make sure I have heat coming out. And sure enough, I've got heat coming out of the heater now. So that heater is working the way that it's supposed to. So we're going to go ahead and just put the screws back into the cover, put the cover back on, and we should be all set with this. So all we're going to do is take these wires, and we're going to gently push them back in to the box, just like that. We're going to flip this over, slide the screw into that notch, get that wire back in there, lock that on like that. Oh, I got to switch my head back because I put the square bit in. I got to get my Phillips back on here. Go ahead and tighten this screw back down. Tighten this screw back down. Okay, now the thermostat's remounted. We'll put the cover back on it. And there we go. That thermostat's fully installed and working. We're going to go ahead and set that at 70 degrees, and we're all set. Well, there you go, guys. We got the thermostat replaced. We got heat in this attic space, so that freeze alarm's not going to go off anymore. I'm going to link another video at the end of this for some other common heating issues that you may have. I hope it helps you out. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps us grow. Remember, have a great day, and you've got this. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks.